Hello everyone, my name is Samlin and I am a member of Group 1. And our topic today is talking about business management. We will focus on dealing with business and the staff issue. As you can see on the slide, here are our content. The first one we will cover on the summary, a summary of the study text, the summary of the main theme from document, and the solution. And the other point is research study, the interviewee background and the interviewee real life experience. And the last part of our content is comparison between study text and the real life. We will find out what are the differences and the similarity of the real life experience and the study text. And move on to part 1 summary. The summary of main theme from the study text. Before I explain the summary of the story related to our main theme, I just want you to know about the background of the story first. The letters from Thailand is a story talking about a son kept writing and sending letters to his mother at China about what he was doing in Thailand, even though he never received any letter back from his mother. And this man was Tang Song-u, a Chinese man who ran away from his hometown Poland village, the mainland of China, and he came to Thailand to seek for opportunity and fortune along with other Chinese men and his friend Kim. And the summary of the story related to our main theme, business management, dealing with staff issue and business. Here you can see on the slide, the story begins with Song-u's journey. During the voyage to Thailand, Song-u met his adopted father, Jong Chao, and Jong Chao suggested him to work at his relative shop, Nguyen Thong. And the next point is how Nguyen Thong managed his business and staff. I found it really interesting that he kept motivating his staff by giving them 2 days off a month and 1 month payment bonus on New Year days. And the salary will be paid according to their performance. For example, Song-u get higher salary than Kim because he could read and write and he can do the record keeping, while Kim could not. And the other point is Song-u settled down and started business. After marrying to Nguyen, one of Nguyen Thong's daughters, he opened a shop that close to Nguyen Thong's shop, and after Nguyen Thong died, he opened a factory which produced Chinese biscuit. And the other point is Ang Boy dealing with staff. When her father Nguyen Thong was sick and there is no son to take over the business, so Ang Boy, the daughter, had to take over his business. However, she seemed to manage his business not as well as her father did, because she is too young, so some staff are not obeying what she are talking to them, what she talked to them. For example, saying a Thai worker thought that Ang Boy is young and he don't have to obey what she told him. So Ang Boy said, if you don't follow me, you don't have to work with me. And then saying stop working at Ang Boy's shop and he seek for opportunity to revenge her. And the other point is lazy and irresponsible staff. Song-u found that Thai workers are lazy and sometimes they are stealing goods when he was not around. For example, in the factory, he found that the productivity of staff performance was very low because staff don't perform well when they were not keep an eye on. And sometimes they're stealing goods at the factory. They're stealing goods from the factory, and for example, a Thai woman who was hired by Sung-oh when his wife was staying in the hospital, do not perform her duty well. And the other point is conflict in workplace. A 10-year Thai girl accused with Wang Kim, or we can see when Kim saw a Thai girl drop the good into the ground, and he scolded her. Instead of saying sorry, instead of saying sorry, the Thai girl mocked at Wang Kim. So it brings the argument between Wang Kim and the Thai girl. And Wang Kim insisted his father to fire the Thai girl, but instead of doing that, his father said to him, "As the manager, you don't have to lower down the price with such a small issue." And the other point is dealing with customer. The first, Sung-oh faced some problem in dealing with business because some of his customers buying his product on credit. So, for example, when he came to the customer home and to ask him for the money that they owe him, and he said they don't have it, and he saw what the husband were doing. They are doing. And the part B is summary from reading document. After I have read the journal about business management, I found something interesting, and I want to share with you with three main important points, such as what is good manager, how to manage business, and how to deal with the staff. And there are many definitions about good manager, but as a good manager, you must be humble but respectful. It means that make sure you are not too proud of yourself, that make yourself look bad, and you should be respectful and make sure that your staff are not afraid of you, because if your staff are afraid of you, they could say something bad about you behind your back or when you are not around. But if they respect you, they cannot say something bad about you because they respect your personality, they respect your success, or they respect your achievement. And you have to you have to motivate your staff in order to improve or to keep their good performance. There are many ways that keep your staff motivated, such as award them, reward them, give them honor, a certificate, increase their position, or give them a small trip. And the next point is how to manage your business. In order to lead your business to success or achieve your goal, you have to recruit and training your staff. Recruit means that you have to choose one of the best among the plenty applications, and you have to train your staff, give them short term before they work in your company, and after they finish training course, they have to, you should provide the small tasks. If they could manage to pass, they could work here. But if they cannot, they are not qualified enough to work in your company. And the last point is how to deal with your staff. There are many ways to deal with your staff, like such as bad behavior of the staff or low performance of your staff. You have to find out the roots of their low performance or their bad behavior. Instead of fire or scrolling at them, you should try to understand what the situation of your staff are, why they perform their work so that low, and one more thing is communication. You have to talk directly to them when they are not perform well. And the last one is warning, mean that you have to warn them. If they do that again, they will be fired. And move to the solution. After compare the study text and reading document, I found some solution. First one, try to understand your staff situation. It means that you have to find out the reason that make your staff perform that low. And after finding them, you will be able to know how to deal with it and how to solve it. And the second point is be a good manager. As I have mentioned earlier, good manager should be humble and respectful, keep your staff motivated, and so on. And be respectful, patient. It means that in order to successful in your business, you have to be patient. Sometimes you have failed at the beginning, but you keep trying, and then you will be success in one day. And research the market. It means that before you doing the business or selling product, you have to research the market, what is the need of the customer, and so on, and find the weakness. After you fail your business, you don't have to give up, but you should find out your weakness, and then you have to improve. In order to challenge and in this market share, you have to improve your weakness, and then strengthen your company or your product or service. And part 2, research study. Here you can see our purpose of the research is to identify the similarities and the differences between real life experience and the study text. And here are our interviewees' background. He is a Chinese man who born in 1972 in Cambodia. Both his father and mother are Chinese. They immigrated from mainland of China in 1958, and he is a second son of the 4 siblings. And his father was killed during Khmer Rouge in Gondar province. And after Khmer Rouge, his mother worked as the pharmacist to support the whole family. He started working since the age of 11 at Battambang province with his father Angkor shop, and 5 years later he moved to Posat and opened his business on his own. And he married at the age of 22 with a Chinese Cambodian woman. And he failed his first business selling beer and goods because due to the unpaid debt, because some of his clients buy food and beer on credit, but they don't pay it back. So in 4 years of running it, his business bankrupt, and he could manage to succeed in the next business. However, his business seemed to face some problem recently because due to the pandemic COVID-19. And to succeed in our research purpose, so we have raised 5 questions to ask our interviewee. The first one is how to maintain your customer. The second is how to keep your staff motivated with their work. And the third is, are the staff assigned to individual work based on what they are good or what they are assigned to do it by requirement. And the fourth is, how to deal with bad-tempered customer. And the last one is, what are the start goals when you first set your business? And the fourth question is how to maintain your customer. First one is good service. It means that you have to treat your customer with respect and make your customer feel welcome by smiling to your customer, saying thank you when they buy your product or even they don't buy your product. And more importantly, you should know that what word you should use to attract your customer attention and what word that they are glad to hear. So it is the way that encourage the customer to buy your product in your shop rather than in another shop. The second point is selling goods in reasonable price. When your goods are good quality as other, but you sell in reasonable price, so the customer will come again. It is the way that attract the customer as well. And the other point is the involvement from your customer employee, because the employee performance can make your client feel satisfied. Make sure that your employee are not bring the ugly face or sad face to welcome your customer, because it can be destroy your good service. And make sure that your customer are welcome when they arrive to your shop. And you have to train your employee and tell them what they should know, what they should do to attract and to maintain the customer. And the last point is shop decoration. The decoration of your shop is an important tool, because when you design your shop in the attractive design, so the customer will want to see your shop again. When they come, they see it, oh, it's attractive, so they will come and buy your product again when they have time. And the second question is how to keep your staff motivated with their work. Yes, the staff performance and staff certification also important in the workplace, because it can lead your workplace to the successful and reduce the productivity. So you should be the supportive employee to your employee. You should be the supportive employer to your employee. It means that you have to be close to each other, like your family. It's not like worker and owner. It feel like so. They will feel like they are close to us, so the performance will be better. And make sure that instead of scolding them, you should explain them and encourage them to work hard. And the second point is appreciate your employee productive by giving them the reward that they deserve, like giving them the reward, honor them with a certificate, bonus, or something else. And the next point is don't treat your employee as a slave. If you treat your employee that way, the employee will make your service into bad way as well. It means that they don't perform well. Sometimes they can destroy your company as well, the company reputation or the company image, by giving unwarm welcome to the customer or provide a bad service to the customer. And the last point is the employee need to notice different persons are motivated by different things. You need to be flexible and you have to be understand. You have to understand the situation of your staff, because different staff facing different situations. So you should use the different strategy or different solution to solve their problem. question, are the staff assigned to individual work based on what they are good at, or are they assigned to it by requirement? You should choose assign your staff by what they are good at. I mean that they are assigned to individual work based on what they are good at. So by doing this, the employee will perform their work very well, and if you assign work for them based on the requirement, so the productivity of your staff performance sometimes wouldn't go as expected. The next question is how to deal with bad-tempered customer. The important thing is that you have to be calm down and cool down your temper. The best way to do it is to take deep breath, and you have to take a deep breath and think up any solution that could solve this problem perfectly. Instead of taking what they are taught personally, you should find out any solution that could solve the problem in the peaceful way. And the second point is finding the reason that make your customer being rude or complain about your product. And the last but not least, you have to apologize them, even though they deserve apologize or not. But all the seller, you have to do it in order to keep your company image and good service. And last one, stand for the ground. If the customer try to stamp all over you, we can be firm our customer if they are being rude, unreasonable. If they are being unreasonable. And the last question is, what are the struggles when you first set up your business? According to his experience, the first struggle is the lack of consumer and the unsold products. It means that there are not many customers to buy your product, and soon your product will be expired. And the next point is we have to do all our work by our own because we don't have any client. And the following point is the lack of experience and knowledge about setting price. We don't know what price we should set. And the following point is we don't have any method or strategy to deal with customers when they are not paying the debt or paying what they have owe us. And the next point is we don't know what we should choose. It really hard. We don't know whether which product we should choose to sell. And the next point is we have to face many competitors, and sometimes our competitors are on all hands in business field. And the last point is our business don't make enough profit. It means that we don't get enough profit to support our expense, and sometimes it makes our business go to bankrupt. And part 3 is comparison. After compare the study text and the real life experience of our interviewees, we found out the similarity are: the first one, the way we treat our staff. We treat our staff based on their performance, and we treat in the same way, like motivating and reward them, so on. And the second similarity is paying salary based on the performance. For example, saying, oh, got higher salary than Kim based on Sang Oh performance and Kim performance. And in the real life, we can say that when our staff perform good, we get higher, they get higher salary than the other that could not perform good. It means that the better they perform, the higher salary they will get. And the similarity is the way dealing with rude customer. We have to be calm down and have to apologize even though they deserve it or not. And it's being biased. It means that the salary will not be paid based on the position, but will be paid based on their performance. And the differences in the story, I just found out with two points. We cannot judge our stuff based on the nation or the look, or we can say that we cannot judge the book by its cover, because an example in the story, Sung Woo and other Chinese businessmen saw that all Thai people are lazy, all Thai workers are lazy, and they don't perform well, and they don't perform well in their working field. But we can see that Thapa is a Thai worker, but she is a hardworking people, and she has a good manner. So we cannot judge that all Thai people are lazy and not working hard. And in reality, sometimes our staff look unattractive. They seem not to be that clever, but they are good. They are good and they are professional in their work skill. And the last point is staff attempt to find the position that could give them more benefit rather than the skill. It's true that people seem to seek for the more money they could get from the position instead of their skill. It means the money is important for them, for us to find. So we attempt to find or to seek for the position which give us more money or more salary instead of what we are good at. And my presentation is coming to the end. Thank you for your watching.